Oliver Cowmeadow, Principal of the International Macrobiotic School, devoted to empowering people to look after their health and lead creative lives. And this is the third short video that I'm doing on female reproductive health, because I'm giving a day's course on women's health on June 24th here at the school. And I want to give you a better idea of what I'm going to be covering during that course. So I've already given one talk on functional problems, period, menstrual cycle problems, one on breast health. In this third one, I want to talk more about health in the lower reproductive system, especially the ovaries and the uterus, the cervix. Problems in these organs are so common in modern Western culture, and one may wonder why. A lot more common than in a lot of traditional societies, eating a more traditional, especially if they're eating a more traditional plant-based diet. In the second video, I was explaining how the reproductive organs, including the breasts, the ovaries, the uterus, are all wanting to accumulate energy and nutrients, because their function is to produce breast milk, eggs, and to possibly nurture a new life. That takes a lot of energy and a lot of nutrients to do these things. So if we're eating excess, then excess fats, sugars, alcohol, refined flour products, ultra-processed foods, which means refined sugar, unhealthy fats, highly refined grains, then there's a lot of excess in the body. And where's this going to go? One of the places you can almost guarantee it will go to is the female reproductive organs, and also the prostate in men. And may not have much effect for 5 years, 10 years, but after 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, the accumulation of this excess in these organs can start creating big problems. And this is what we see in modern Western culture, and these problems are much more common than in traditional, in cultures eating traditional plant-based diets. So it's really very simple. If we're eating excess, where does that go? If our body can't use it up, it has to go somewhere. We know it's been shown very clearly with heart disease that eating excess is one of the contributors to blocked arteries, and then also to strokes. Many people these days are suffering from fatty liver disease, even having fatty streaks in their muscles. The modern Western diet just contains way too much richness in the way of fats, sugars, alcohol, etc. And this is going to cause lumps, bumps, skin eruptions, growths, benign lumps, and also cancerous lumps. Cancer has greatly increased over the last 50 or 60 years, from possibly, different reports say different things, possibly from 1 in 10, maybe 1 in 6 people developing cancer. Then it got to 1 in 4, then to 1 in I think around 2000 in modern Western countries like the UK, 1 in 3, now it's 1 in 2 people will develop cancer. A whole variety of different causes lead to cancer. One is eating excess, because it has to go somewhere, it gets stored in the body, starts creating problems. So if we think about the ovaries, this is one place where excess can go to. In the macrobiotic understanding, if we've been eating a lot of hard animal fats, for example from eating meat and maybe eggs, and maybe cheese, this creates a lot more hard cysts, sometimes called dermatoid cysts, in the ovaries. If we're eating more combination of animal fats, and especially dairy fats and sugars, we may get more fluid-filled cysts in the ovaries. One form of this is called polycystic ovaries, a problem which is becoming much more common, where there are many cysts. A cyst means a fluid-filled hole There are many cysts in one ovary. There's lots of these cysts, so polycysts, and this can have big effects on the health. It can really interfere with fertility, with the menstrual cycle. It can also, for some reason, stimulate the ovaries to create more testosterone, and women can start developing facial hair from the raised testosterone levels. And can be a serious ongoing problem that doesn't normally heal or resolve itself. Coming on to the uterus, if we're eating a lot of excess, then the body may form fibroids. These are lumps which can either form more inside the uterus, in the walls of the uterus, or on the outside of the uterus. And another common problem, and I think also increasing, endometriosis. The endometrium is the lining of the uterus, which normally grows every month and then sheds and creates menstruation. The endometrium can start spreading outside of the uterus, onto the outside of the uterus, onto the ovaries, the other structures, causing a lot of abdominal pain at periods, and sometimes fertility problems and so on. But it tends to create a lot of pain. Again, Western medicine not very good at healing endometriosis. So all these problems coming from excess. If we want to avoid these problems, then eat a plant-based diet, whole grains, beans, lots of vegetables, root vegetables, green vegetables, seeds, nuts, fruits. Sea vegetables are very useful, provide us with lots of minerals. Maybe a little animal food. Maybe you can eat a healthy vegan diet. You may want to eat a little animal food. We want to eat more the low-fat varieties, especially if you've eaten a lot of fats in the past. Maybe some fish, seafood, sometimes. Just in pure health terms, nothing wrong with eating eggs, cheese, meat. What is wrong is eating more than our body can deal with. And it's not very much. I've done some experiments on eating dairy food. I decided to, because everybody loves pizza, I haven't eaten pizza for 40 years. I thought I'd eat a pizza, got a really healthy, organic pizza, ate the whole thing. Yeah, it's quite delicious. My chin became thickened. I started developing these deep spots in my chin and on the back of my neck. My chin actually went numb for 4 or 5 days. And these spots took about 2 to 3 weeks to resolve. This is a common experience when you eat a cleaner diet. When you do eat excess, you really notice the effects. And so my body was trying to discharge all those cheese fats for 2 to 3 weeks. And that's just eating one small pizza on one occasion. If we're eating these dairy foods on a regular basis, then the body doesn't use them up. They will accumulate and accumulate and accumulate. So really a plant-based diet is best. Also, what really has a big effect on the female reproductive organs is the health of any organ. Excess can cause a lot of problems, but also qi needs to be flowing. Qi in Chinese, qi in Japanese, needs to be flowing. Our energy, our blood, our lymph needs to be flowing. If it gets stagnated, we get more problems. Things don't function, organs don't function so well, and more accumulation from all of that excess can happen. So it's really important for men and women to have a good qi flow through this part of the body. Energy needs to be flowing here. How do we have good qi flow? How does a woman have good qi flow through this part of the body? Through having a healthy relationship with their sexuality, having a sexual drive. is a sign of health. It's part of health. Feeling that accepting one's sexuality, enjoying one's sexuality, and also accepting one's body. We all have different bodies. Sometimes they're thin, sometimes they're bigger, taller, shorter, different shapes. We need to accept our bodies. If we don't accept our bodies, we tend to come out of our bodies, and then this gets stagnated. Let's enjoy, accept our sexuality. We need sexual pleasure. This helps a lot of energy flow in the body, and especially in the lower abdomen. We also need exercise with the legs. Walking's great, jogging, certain sports, swimming, whatever, but we need to be using our legs so that the energy is flowing through the lower abdomen and down into our legs. So we need physical exercise, and we may also need to do, to really look after our emotional, our emotions as well, our emotional feelings towards self and towards our body and towards our sexuality. If you have low body self-esteem, a lot of negativity about your sexuality, this will tend to create stagnation in this area, and long term this can really contribute to problems as well. So you need to do some emotional healing in these areas. A lot of really good information, I'm sure, on YouTube, a lot of women's courses. Make friends with your uterus, make friends with your ovaries, breathe into this part of your body, contact your uterus, contact your ovaries, feel the energy in that place, build up energy in this place. For women, this is a big energy center in the uterus. For men, it's more in the prostate. This is a very important energy center. What I see is a lot of women and men not really inhabiting this part of the body, and then of course things start going wrong in this area. So we need to learn to be in our bodies, accept and love our bodies, and heal any emotions which are really preventing us being in this part of the body. So this is like a quick review of how we can have health in this lower part of the body, also how we can heal various problems in this lower part of the body. If we've got serious accumulations, ovarian cysts, fibroids, polycystic ovaries, endometriosis, these are deep problems in the body, and they do take time to heal. I've seen people, sometimes they're easier, sometimes they're more difficult, but I've seen a lot of people heal these kind of problems. Often it's taking more like 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, and it's taking long periods of time because it takes time to deeply cleanse the body. If we eat a more cleansing, plant-based diet, the body starts cleansing more from the outside, and then it takes time to really go deeply into the body. So a deeply cleansing diet, exercise really helps, and also doing the emotional work to make friends with this part of the body, which again can take time. If we're holding a lot of negativities about ourselves, our sexuality, attractiveness, body image, etc., this can take time to heal, but it's very important to do so. So, a quick look at lower reproductive health. So much you can do to promote health in this area, and also to heal various problems in this area. If you'd like to know more, please check out on our website, the Women's Health Day, June the 24th. I'd love to see you there. Also a fabulous lunch, a fabulous plant-based lunch, so you'll see how to further how to use food for reproductive system health. Thank you very much for watching.